So I haven't spoke about AC Valhalla in over a month now, purely because information's been quite sparse and I've been waiting on gameplay. With that said, we're now just a week away from the Ubisoft Forward event, where we'll be seeing our very first gameplay demo from AC Valhalla. And since it's been a while and we're quite close to seeing gameplay, I thought I'd talk about a few things I want to see from the event. Obviously we aren't bound to see all 5 of these, it's just a wish list basically. So here's 5 of the things I want to see from the Assassin Creed Valhalla gameplay demo. So something that really interested me during the big drip feed of information about Valhalla was the customization. Assassin's Creed has given us customization options in previous games, but since embracing the RPG genre, it's been pushed more to the forefront. Valhalla, however, seems to prioritise customization far more than Origins or Odyssey or any of the older games. What interested me most was finding out every single item would be unique. I think that's a great choice, as in both other RPG games, new weapons and armour all sort of blend together, all with the exception of rewards for things like completing missions or killing for lackeys. Now in terms of Eivor as a person, you can customise your hair, tattoos, and if you pick the male option, your beard, or maybe the female option as well. Ubisoft are a progressive, kind company after all, or so their PR would have you believe. Either way, it'll be cool to have this expanded upon. In Origins we had the option to change Bayek, but only his hair and beard, so we basically had 4 versions of him, whereas here it seems like there's going to be far more to Eivor's customization than just hair or no hair, beard or no beard, and on top of that we're going to have tattoos. I quite like customising your assassin to sort of make them your own, and it seems like the team have gone all out here. It'd be really nice to see another variation of Eivor, maybe with some different hair or tattoos. I don't quite know if we can expect to actually see the customization in depth, I doubt it, but as I said, it'd be cool to see another version of Eivor just so we can see some of the customization that we can expect. So the next thing on the list I'd like to hear something about is the progression system. A major flaw in both Origins and especially Odyssey was the way progression was handled, with us often having to complete several side quests between major story missions, and that really broke up the narrative, and that wasn't helped by the fact the majority of side quests in both games felt really samey and boring. With Valhalla though, we've been told there's going to be no quote-unquote progression walls, and I think that's a great thing. Even great narratives are hurt significantly when they're fragmented by the game's design, and it would be nice to just progress through the story at our own pace, as slow or as fast as we like. The reason that I say I want to see this though is because we've been told we'll gain power and progress through skills and abilities as opposed to levels. For one, I'm interested in seeing these abilities, and I'm also interested in seeing how this is done. In Montreal 3's last game, Origins, which is surely very different to this, I never felt I needed skills to progress. They definitely helped, but I didn't need them, so I'm curious as to the extent of their importance now that leveling has basically been replaced. I know this is good news, and I really don't mean to be a buzzkill, but I just worry a little about microtransactions. As great as the talent behind this game are, we're still talking about Ubisoft here. Ubisoft who would happily jeopardise any game, sacrifice any child at any altar for that matter, so long as it makes them a bit more money. With Odyssey, microtransactions were pushed more than they ever had been in the series, so it seems odd Ubisoft would do a full 180. It wouldn't shock me if maybe they turned them back a bit, with there being some controversy around Odyssey, but to make a game without some sort of monetary catch when it comes to progression, it feels a bit like a trap to me. Anyway, I hope to God there isn't, but I won't really believe it until I see it. But I do have my fingers crossed this is going to be a genuinely more enjoyable progression system. So something that I'd like to see, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we did, are these settlements. It's been made clear that settlements are a key part of Valhalla, seeming to be far more important than any safe house or base we've had in the past. We've seen our settlement in Norway in the cinematic, and also a screenshot of our settlement in England. We know they'll be important narratively, as that's where we and our allies live, but we also know settlements will allow dialogue with its inhabitants to unlock new quests and opportunities. We can also play mini games, and we can also upgrade it to have various stores and other uses, presumably. I've always loved having a safe house in AC, and this seems like the most fleshed out kind of safe house we've seen so far. And I say safe house loosely because from the images we've seen and how they've been described, they seem like small societies. One thing I can't wait to do is just walk through one of these. There were towns in Origins where you could see citizens living by a life cycle. That added so much immersion, and that's most likely going to be dialed up to 10 here. I'm interested in seeing if there's any upgrades besides tattoo parlors and blacksmiths, maybe some defenses or something, because I would be surprised if we don't have our settlement attacked in the game at some point. But yeah, anyway, that's getting a little off topic. I really love this idea though. It's great actually having somewhere to put your money after you've settled on gear and all that stuff, and I really hope we get to see more of the settlements. Now, something I'd be surprised if we didn't see is the combat. It's been at the forefront of basically every interview and tease about the game. From what we've heard, it's going to be far heavier than more recent entries, and is also going to give us a ton of customization options, being able to basically mix and match weapons and shield, which is a really cool way of letting us put our own spin on the combat. I'm really interested in seeing how much of a progression Montreal 3 have made since their last game, Origins. You'd think they'd have some pretty major differences given how they're talking about it and the fact they've developed this over 3 years with 14 teams. I'd also quite like to see some of the enemies in the game. We know that enemies are going to have a random mix of weapons and armor, and we'll have to use different strategies for different types, and that sounds great for stopping the game becoming repetitive, and I'd like to see that in practice, as this game sounds far more complex than what we used to, and it'd be really cool being able to have as much choice as it sounds like we have, facing particular enemies that require certain strategies. The team was certainly proud of what they've done with the combat since they keep pushing it, and I can't wait to actually see it. So the thing that I want to see most from Valhalla is the social stealth. We didn't have social stealth in either Origins or Odyssey, and that's a shame because social stealth is a huge part of Assassin's Creed and its identity. I kept saying in content I made prior to Valhalla, one of the main things I wanted to see was social stealth, and even knowing it was possible, it still came as a huge surprise when it was announced. A good one, mind you, and I can't wait to see what's done with it. For me, I loved using social stealth because it was part of that idea, especially in the first 4 or so games, that you were this outcast that society didn't want or actively wanted dead. And with us being a Viking exploring huge medieval English cities like Winchester, London and York, that makes a ton of sense, and I'd love to have that feeling back. Even if it's not the best social stealth we've ever had, it's going to be an improvement just because we have it, and I'm really interested in seeing what that looks like in a modern AC game. I hope to God that it's actually made significant and is a big part of the game, but with the team at Montreal 3 listening to us and so many of us older fans asking for it to come back, it wouldn't surprise me if it was an important part of the game. Anyway, those are my thoughts, and I suppose we'll see what Valhalla has to offer on the 12th. And before I go, I just want to say this Origins video I've been working on is going to be the next one. I know I was saying that like a month ago, but I've just been busy. But now I've got a few thousand words through the script, I've started recording bits of it. It should be the next thing. It'll be my next upload probably. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, maybe leave a like, and if you didn't, maybe let me know why. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next time.